5 months ago, I bought my first car. I decided to rent it out on the car sharing platform Turo. For the first couple months, it was going fine, not super profitable, but I had hope. And on top of that, it was my first car. And being in high school, I loved the first car freedom feeling. Now, picture this. It's February, I'm sitting in class and absolutely not listening to a single word my teacher's saying. And that's when I get it. A notification on my phone that my car has been in an accident. My guest had filed a damage report, but even at this point, I still had no idea just how bad it was. The photos included in the report were blurry and unclear, so I was really left wondering about the state of my car. What I did know, however, was that my guest was taken away from the scene in an ambulance. Now, not to worry, she turned out completely fine. But it did mean that I could only assume the worst about my car. When I finally got to see it at the collision center, this was its state. Needless to say, I was disappointed to lose my car. I know that as Turo hosts, we can't have any emotional attachment to our vehicles, but this was my first car, and part of me still misses it. But as I'm sure you can tell from the title and thumbnail, it was not all doom and gloom. After weeks of anxious waiting, Turo finally emailed me about an insurance quote for my car. Now, Turo is known for dodging insurance payouts whenever possible, so up until this point, I wasn't even sure that I would get any money at all. But the final payout number was more than anything I ever could have expected. After paying only $9,000 for the car, Turo paid out $16,500 for insurance, nearly twice the cost of my car. If you've watched my earlier video on Turo, you'd know that I didn't pay for the car outright either. I only put down a $2,000 down payment. This means that off a $2,000 investment, I profited $7,500. Now, I know this seems like a wild, lucky occurrence, but the reality is that insurance claims are part of the Turo business. If you want to be a successful host, you will probably be profiting off of insurance claims. So, in the likely scenario that you will be in my position someday, let me walk you through the process. First, the car was towed to a collision center immediately after the accident. There was a police report filed, but it didn't ever really matter to me. I went to the collision center just because I wanted to see my car and also to take any of my personal belongings out with me. Then I authorized the collision center to release the vehicle to Turo. So then Turo, or Turo's affiliated agency, picked up the car and took it to their own facility. At the facility, they assessed the car and deemed it to be a total write-off. And later on, they made a decision about how much the car was worth. Now, to be clear, I never actually met the other driver involved. Supposedly, the other driver was at fault, but I only dealt with Turo directly. Turo has to give me my insurance payout no matter what. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's Turo's job to go and pursue the other driver for the costs. So even if this driver disappeared off the face of the earth, Turo should still pay me my money. Now, ultimately, the car crashed about 2 months ago now, and I have not, and I am not planning to, buy another car for Turo. This is why. For one, the Canadian market is not particularly profitable. We have July and August as decent months, but then anywhere else, especially January and February when we have snow, the market is really weak. There is simply not enough demand to sustain a business throughout the entire year. On top of that, there are really no good insurance options for Canadians. In America, you have Tint and American Business Insurance and even a couple other options that are perfect for small or rental fleet hosts. But here in Canada, we really have no good options like that. You either have to use personal insurance or go all the way up to commercial insurance, which is way more expensive. Now, as this video wraps up, that is the end of my Turo business. But if you are continuing with yours or still trying to start one, I believe in you. There is a lot of money to be made, especially if you're in the United States. So, if you are pursuing this business, I wish you luck. I believe in you. Go get rich.